an oak. And the oak, it allows us to make a coal bed. And so as we build up the coal bed,
coal bed?
Coal bed, right? Because pine burns pretty efficiently and pretty much through. But at the end of the process, we want to fill the kiln with coals, along with keeping up the temperature. And we get a whole bed of coals, and then and at the end, we seal the kiln at a very high temperature and start it with oxygen.
Close it?
And we close the front doors, all the airports,
Oh, okay.
and we seal the kiln, even cracks, we go around with lead and stuff to make sure it's all sealed. So there's no oxygen going in. And that's called a reduction cooling. So there's oxidation and reduction. And so oxidation firing is how you get your shiny pottery.
Yeah.
Reduction cooling is what gives you a
I'm into the reduction
matte, the matte finishes.
Yeah.
And it also pulls, because it's started with oxygen, the clay is kind of like consuming itself a little bit it's looking for oxygen.
Yeah, so you can't predict where
And
it's
so
shiny, right? Where
where it's shiny and all that kind of stuff. That's maybe where a little oxygen in the clay body itself.
Is
But
it
then
because
these
you took
colors.
it out early or something? Like, how did that?
No.
Because that one's more shiny. So
It-
was
and
that
it's-
a decision that you
It's got a
made?
little bits of shine in it, and some of them
Yeah.
have that. And so there is some oxygen getting into the kiln. And the clay body, this is a denser clay body than this. This is more porous.
Okay.
so
but
it-
that's not a decision that you make. It's just sort of a
The clay
surprise.
body is.
The oxygen,
And-
where
and-
it's shiny.
And where it's going to be a little shiny, that's just what
Light,
happened in
yeah.
that particular
Yeah.
space in the kiln.
Because
right?
that's a miracle right there with the light coming through. It's like an illumination of her gut, torso area. Just
Yeah.
how it's oranger.
Right, well, yeah, and this whole thing, you can see how this side has this beautiful warmth coming through, and then this gets into blues and grays and all this kind of stuff. This is the same clay, but it has to do with how I load them into the kiln. And these are built in 4 sections.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So I built them, I cut them in 4 sections.
Wow.
I bisque fired them at my studio at home.
And you have to cross hatch too, like everybody else does.
To make all the connections every minute.
Okay.
It takes almost 6 months to make one of these things. It takes a long time for me to make these. It's very slow, and you have to start from the bottom.
But you gravitated towards that. So was that like from your dad, or was it? I want to know if it's chicken or the egg. I'm a very when I'm not pregnant, I'm a very active person, so I need slow because that's who I need that.
I'm
What about
always
you?
I'm crazy active.
Okay, so you're like me. Where
And this
you
is
need-
like a meditation.
Yeah,
I love doing it.
feels like 100 years
Because
old.
for a couple hours, I might only go this far.
Wow.
I mean, it's really
Wow.
slow.
So it gets
It's
really,
really,
deeply
really,
grounding.
really slow.
Yeah.
The first day, I'll only have the base made.
Yeah.
Because there's all this
So
planning,
beautiful.
there's all this planning, and so I have to make the bases.
I like your hands.
Yeah.
Just
So,
your hand with the plate, you know.
and I have to make these bases so that this steel plate is going to go up inside of it. And so there are 2 long pegs of steel that go into the base, and so I have to plan these cavities where that's going to go. I fill it with concrete, I make forms and all that stuff, so
Wow.
that this can slide into it and be
Wow.
attached with epoxy.
Wow.
And then each one of these sections, I cut them depending on what I can lift into the kiln. Right?
Which is very
And-
human,
and-
right?
yeah, right. So it's like if I'm making a base up to here, that's probably already like 70 pounds, and I've got to pick this thing up
Yeah.
and put it in the kiln
Carefully, I guess.
and then dry it out.
Yeah.
I mean, drying the clay is crazy long process too. And then then we do the wood firing, and after the wood firing, I have to be able to put them back together again and use epoxy.
But you wouldn't live up there on the mountain. You would live down here. It's a nice
Yeah,
back and forth.
yeah.
Okay.
I like living.
Yeah.
I like Point Richmond.
Yeah.
I'm also a sailor, so I have a sailboat 5 minutes
We have a
from my
lot of
house.
nautical in our family.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sail a lot too.
Super cool.
And so these things, they're interesting. It's a real, there's a lot of engineering actually that I've had to figure out in making these things.
Yeah.
So I've got a
It's a
table
puzzle.
that allows me to put 2 posts and then these support systems. So as I'm building this thing, I have these T-bars that can slide in and out and go against the body, and then I put crossboards and tighten those up to hold it so that I can turn this table that I'm working on and spin it and have all the clay next to me and move it around, work on this, move it around like that. And then these posts go all the way up, and I've got the thing supported so it's not going to fall down and all this kind of stuff while I'm working on it. And then I have to plan where the cuts are going to be, because you can't cut through columns. So as I'm building it, I know I get to a certain zone,
You have to have a resting spot.
and I'm looking at space, and I'm making marks on the posts, like this is going to be a cut area to remind myself where it is.
Wow, it's so thought,